Cousins. You're a masochist if you're watching this, but we do appreciate you doing so, Second Cousins, as the Orlando Magic fall to the Oklahoma City Thunder 102-86. Pich, it has been a tough road trip. I think we've dropped 4 in a row now, as the Magic just can't really shoot the basketball and again lose.
Well, why do you put the word really in that sentence?
True. You just continue to not be able to shoot the basketball. 0% from 3 in the second quarter. 14.7% on the game from 3. But I just think it's not really our game, Pich, and we just keep shooting them and we just keep doing it and doing it and doing it. I think that's the definition of when you're insane, right? When you continue to do something and expect a different result. Yep. I think that's what I've learned, and we're just insane, and we just like to keep doing that. 19 turnovers, just too many on a team that is superior to us in this moment because we are without our star in Paolo Banchero. It didn't really ever feel close, Pich, even though what was the smallest?
I got down to 12 or 14, 12 maybe, I think, in the fourth quarter. But, it didn't feel like it was ever going to be close. It shouldn't have been.
Yeah.
Disgusting. Again. Stinks to have this many stinkers in a row. Every team has a bad game once in a while, but this is like 3 in a row now. That's just been pretty bad. 17% over the last 2 games from 3.
Nice.
It's not going to get it done. This is terrible. Something needs to be done. I thought Gogo was a step in the right direction tonight because
star of the game.
He was doing the things that we needed to have done, which was rebound inside, do big man shit. Mm-hmm. He was a center tonight, and we needed a center.
Offensive boards from Gogo, we love to see it.
I mean, I think any center on our team that goes in there would have fun because we're missing a ton of shots. Yeah. So the fact that he only had the 9 rebounds is kind of astounding. Like if we had a legit big time rebounder, they would have feasted in there. Guys aren't following these 3-point misses either. And look, I feel like I'm saying the same things over and over again here. Yeah. The wheels are completely falling off the bus. This is a team that could have been potentially in the conversation for being one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference. Yeah. They lose the one guy and just become contenders for the number 1 pick all of a sudden. Yeah. Because they're looking real bad. Teams are having their fun games out there. They're letting their bench guys go out and score 15 points. We've regressed way too hard for the loss of one guy. Somebody needs to put their foot down, and they need to get serious about this and win and take this to heart because this is not the way things should be going, even with the loss of a superstar like Paolo. I know he leaves a big hole, but should be a little bit more respectable if these pieces are supposed to be as good as they are. And it's hard to watch. This game was disgusting to watch. You flipped it over to the 4-way screen thing, which I do not like.
That saved me.
But at least it gave me something else to watch. And the Minnesota Timberwolves dancers came up a few times. Yeah, and there was some other things of value in the other 3 boxes because I couldn't really see one box that well anyway because it's too small.
Slightly blind.
I could not tell who was on the court at some points. But it didn't really matter because whoever was out there wasn't hitting threes. It didn't really matter who was putting them up. Even Gogo was like, oh, yeah, centers are shooting threes. I'll try one.
It was ugly, man. And there are some breadcrumbs of how we can win this game with we win points in the paint. Maybe that's a lie. We won points in the paint 42-38. Mm-hmm. And and we win free throws. We got to the line 27 times to their 16. That is normally the formula for an Orlando Magic win. But like you said, Pich, it's been tough to watch. It's like eating your vegetables, right? It's like hanging out with your in-laws. It's like going to the dentist. But you all, because you're dedicated, Second Cousins, you're watching these games. You're putting in the time. And it's tough to see the product on the court doing such a poor job. 19 turnovers again and just shooting like dog shit from beyond the arc. You just can't win an NBA basketball game shooting 14.7% from beyond the arc. We got to force the issue more. There were times, I know that the Oklahoma City Thunder are also a deep and a young team, but their depth was a little lacking with Isaiah Hartenstein out. And when Chet Holmgren was out of the game, they really had no depth inside.
Right.
And we've got Goga, and we had Jonathan Isaac, who, again, plays 11 minutes in a back-to-back here. I guess we're putting the bubble wrap on this man again, but you've got to take advantage of that. When Chet Holmgren is out, let's force the issue. Let's get to the line. Let's force the ball inside, and we just seem to be settling. And I know this team is the number one defense in the league, but let's get into the paint. Let's get 2 feet in the paint and force the issue here. If I'm looking for silver linings, I guess it's a little bit of a bounce back for Franz Wagner. He saw 1 go in from beyond the arc, 8 of 17. That's not a great percentage. That's under 50%, but he got 22 points. Jalen Suggs, the other guy, 19 points on decent efficiency. Again, below 50% from the field, 6 of 13. But, I mean, damn, the first quarter woes continue, Pich. We seem to play
39 points they scored.
And we scored 17 and 15 points in the second and third quarter, respectively.
Can't
That's
have
not an
it.
NBA team.
You can't have it. You can have one bad quarter in a game and usually find a way to win. You just can't have 2. It's just I'm dying for somebody on this team to want to offensively score the ball and take charge out there and say, fuck it, I am going to score. I'm going to shoot the basketball. I'm going to score. Every other NBA team has them. And they also have guys that come off the bench that you're like, who's that guy?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember that guy a little bit from college. And that guy's hitting open threes because they're open. And that's the problem is a lot of these shots they're missing. Again, I said this last night. I'll say it again. They're open shots. That means that the plays and the ball movement is good. It just means that the men shooting the ball have to actually make the shot. It sounds so easy because I see all these other teams. We watched parts of at least 6 other games tonight. Yeah. And I see guys I do not know making wide open 3-pointers because they're wide open They're wide open and they're NBA basketball players. Why can't we have guys that do that? I'm sick of looking for defensive players. I'm over it. I know defense isn't part of the game. And look, this is me now. I love defense. Oh, yeah. Part of the reason I don't like watching the NBA is because most teams don't give a fuck about defense. Yeah. And I like that we put emphasis on it. But you also need to score. You need to have some guys that score. And our one guy that likes to score and will take the ball and go get you a bucket is out. And so now we're just a team of defense. And that's not going to win games. So get prepared. Get prepared for a lot of losing the next 2 months, Magic fans, because I don't see this turning around. They're not hitting any of these shots.
It's crazy that one guy goes out and we just forget our identity.
Yeah. Not one guy can get hot. All these guys are cold at the same time. That doesn't make sense. Like you keep putting these guys in. You keep thinking, okay, well, here's this guy. Maybe he'll hit. Here's this guy. Maybe he'll get hot. No one's hot? How's that happen?
Everyone's desperate. Even Dante Marcatelli. He was so desperate today.
I don't know what's wrong with that man. I know he's on the payroll, obviously, so you can tell he's trying to kiss butt.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's watching for games, but saying that like, oh, Wendell Carter, he was playing so well. When? When was he playing well? Yeah. That one game against the Bulls last year? Like, he's not. I mean, look, he said a lot of like lies and mistruths throughout the night to try to make things seem okay. Yeah. At one point saying that like, well, the silver lining of tonight is it's early in the season. It's like, bro.
They're reaching at straws, man. I mean,
they're having a tough time. There's not much to talk about.
There was a line where he said early in the first quarter, or the Magic hanging around.
Yeah.
No, we're not hanging around. It's
the first quarter.
The game just started. We're not supposed to be hanging around in the first. We lose the first 39-26. Man, it's tough to watch. And it's tough to find the silver.
If I'm Mosley, I say, look, we're not doing any defensive drills for the next week. Right. Everybody shoot. Yeah. Everybody shoot wide open shots. I want no defense I want nobody even running at them. No coaches with the big post. Just everybody shoot wide open threes, and no one can leave the gym until you've shot, 40%.
Yeah, and it's troubling to me that it seems like the only guy that's really stepping up in the wake of Paolo being out is Jalen, who's trying to force the issue and maybe sometimes too much. But that's what you got to do.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, right. You got to do
It's okay
that.
right now.
And no one is trying to remain with the identity of this team, which is getting 2 feet in the paint and getting to the rim and getting some easy shots. I mean, it was nice to see Franz getting in there a little bit, and he was actually making some shots down low, but
he was scooping.
It's tough, man. It's great to see Goga back in the lineup. Again, it's silver lining. I love what Goga brings. I'm glad that's one extension I'm glad about, Pich. Go check out episode 70 if you haven't already. We just cut it hours before this release here. It's good to see Goga back because we lack so much that inside presence. And at least he's getting some offensive rebounds. He's being a blocking chance down low when we're supposed to have a guy in Jonathan Isaac who's supposedly, that people have told me this, that when he's in, is a defensive player of the year candidate.
Yeah, he played 10 minutes tonight.
Yeah.
I think he played maybe 15 last night in games where we need big men inside and we don't have them because Wendell's out. So I'm so furious about that. It just doesn't make any sense to me. And then when he's in there, he decides he wants to become a 3-point shooter, and I don't think he's made one in the last 2 games. He's probably like 0 for 10 or something like this at this point. I just don't get it. Like I don't understand wasting a frame that big on not doing any big man shit anymore. I mean, his defense is still there. His footwork's still there. He's still still a threat to block shots.
Right.
But defense isn't our problem right now. We need some O. And he seems almost like he's a liability on offense right now if he can't hit any outside shots, and he's not going to do any alley-oop things or any inside interior big man things. So, we can't have guys out on the court. We can't have 3-4 guys out on the court that don't want to score the basketball or aren't good at that. That's not good for us. And I'm going to include KCP there. His defense is good. I saw him make more of an impact today than I have maybe in some of the previous games. So maybe he's finding his footing here in Orlando, which is good. But he's still, but he's not shooting the ball still. Right. Like the defensive part is all there, and that's cool. But I'm still going to need you to shoot a little bit better. If you're putting up 7 shots and you need to make at least 3, I need you to do a little bit more offense. Everybody, when the big guy goes out, has to step up a little bit. Yeah. And I guess I'm just not seeing that vibe from everybody. I'm seeing it. You're seeing it from Suggs, like you said. I feel like Franz is still doing his Franz-like thing. I don't feel like he's going above and beyond.
He's still acting like he's the tertiary, the second guy.
Right. He still
feels. We need you to be the guy.
We need you to be the guy, bruh.
Yeah.
And everybody else needs to work off that. We don't love the point Franz moments of the game where he's the guy handling the ball coming up. It seems like he's always good for at least a turnover or 2 in that aspect. That's not really what he should be doing. We have plenty of guards. Let the guards bring it in. Anthony Black's minutes were sus tonight. Jet Howard didn't really get big minutes until late in the game. We really only had played about 10 people and very spottingly for most of that game. And it was just like, well, where... Cole can't play anymore. Is Harris out? Yeah. He didn't play. It was a weird. I know he's still trying to find a mix for the rotation, but this wasn't it. So back to the drawing board.
Yeah, it's crazy that I'm calling for Corey Joseph minutes right now.
Right, but he's playing well, and he plays with hustle and heart. It was 1 for 1 tonight from 3, right? Yeah. So he's the best 3-point shooter we had. If you're looking for our plus minus player of the game was Tristan Da Silva at 4. Positive 4.
Oh, wow.
We didn't have a lot of players
he was in the starting lineup.
Franz Wagner also at positive at 1.
Okay, that's okay. Franz Wagner also, though, like you said, with 5 turnovers.
J.I. was a negative 21.
That is crazy in a guy who's supposed to be a defensive player of the year in 11 minutes.
And played 10 minutes. Yeah.
Minus 21 in 11 minutes.
That was a bad stretch of time.
That is crazy to me. And we need you to be that down low guy. And last night he was guarding Luka. Tonight at times he was on Shea. It's interesting, and it makes sense, I guess, that Coach Mosley wants to see.
I'm good with it.
We'll put the 7-footer who's dynamic on your best player and cause them fits, because Shea didn't have a crazy game. He had 21, but he was. Felt like
he was relatively subdued, yeah.
Yeah, relatively subdued.
He's hitting some jumpers down the stretch to really put a nail in the coffin on our comeback chances. But
yeah, first 3 quarters he was silent. It's troubling that we see this trend. I don't want Jonathan Isaac to be developing into a perimeter player. That's not what we want. No. I want him at the basket. No. I want him blocking shots. I want him causing chaos down there. And
he's feared down there. When guys get the ball and he's around, they know. They I'm probably not going to try this one. And that's good. That's what you want. That's what you need inside. We just haven't had it for a while now. Goga did some of that tonight. You love to see that. I don't understand why we invested in WCJ and JI, who are injury prone guys that like are supposed to be big men, yet don't really big man shit.
Yeah.
Like when that's kind of what this team is missing without Paulo down there to bang around and grab some boards. We don't have a rebounder that I have any faith in.
Especially when that was the advantage that we had that we could have pressed tonight.
Yep.
Especially when Chet was off the floor. And even when Chet was on the floor.
Right.
That man, most people in the offseason, most, big men, they put on some weight in the offseason. Chet looked like he was on the Atkins diet.
I had seen some video of him putting on muscle, and I thought, oh, good for him. He's looking big, but it didn't. It's like his legs won't accept weight.
No. And you got to give it up to J-Dub. There's a lot of conversation in the Magic community that you see on social media comparing J-Dub to other players on the Magic. He showed out. I mean, especially in the first quarter, man.
Thunder are a solid team. I don't think we should have ever thought we were going to win this game.
No.
They're a solid team. They're playing great basketball right now. They're really only missing Hartenstein, who they really haven't had yet.
Yeah. True.
So I don't think we were going to win this game, without Paulo on the squad. But it's one of those games where it's like, if we could shoot even 25% from three, you make it interesting. You know what I mean? Like I'm at a point right now where honestly I'm kind of like, until we have a game where the Orlando Magic can shoot at least 25% from 3-point range, I am not watching another game because I can't continue to watch this. It sucks. It makes me feel like what am we doing? And it's like they're not putting the effort in. I'm not going to put the effort in. Like I'm whelmed.
Yeah.
Overly about this whole situation. It's just like, do some shooting drills and learn how to shoot. Like it's really, really ridiculous. It'd be like if I went to work and just slammed the Zamboni into the walls all day. And it's like, bro, this is bread and butter. You got to know this stuff.
No,
like
it's me going to work and putting on the movie every day.
Yeah.
For the kids.
Right. You roll the TV into the classroom, put the VHS in there.
Yeah.
That's a little too old, but
no, it's been tough to watch, and thank you, Second Cousins, for watching this and continuing to have some faith in this team. But
well, you're watching this because you have the same feelings.
Yeah.
But maybe you don't have the platform to say what we're saying. But at least you can give us a thumbs up and a follow, and then you're kind of supporting what we're saying here.
Please like and subscribe. We need it desperately.
Desperately put some positive affirmations in the comments.
Yeah.
What are you seeing that you like? Because we've always been pretty positive here. Like if one of us is negative, the other one's positive, or we try to have a positive note. Like I even dug deep for the plus-minus player of the game for Tristan Da Silva tonight.
I did like what I saw from Tristan.
Yeah, I mean, I like what I see from him. I'm trying to be optimistic, but
player.
Right, he's not going to be a star player that's going to get us 25 points a night. Or really looks for his shot. He takes what's there. And I like that because there's a lot there. There's definitely some need in that department. I don't know if it's enough to be a silver lining over everything else I've seen.
It's tough, man.
That's what's hard.
This front office has done a great job of finding some tremendous role players who can carve out a decade-long career in the NBA for the things that they bring on the tertiary, just on the outskirts of the game. But now with Paulo out, the glaring need is another guy who can do something. You thought that's going to be Paulo based on getting that max extension. He's there somewhat, but he's not drawing double teams. He's not doing the things that are putting the pressure on the defense and getting other guys open. It's been tough to take, and I don't know what the answer is here.
We need bucket getters.
Yeah.
And I know currently it looks like we have none. Someone needs to develop into a bucket getter immediately. Like you see these guys, they're all over the league. Guys who've been in the league for a long time sometimes, right? They come off the bench. You're like, oh man, that guy can fill it up. He looks for a shot. He creates his own shot, or he comes off screens. He shoots the ball. He scores. He'll get you 20 on a night if you need him. We don't have a guy like that.
Yeah.
We need a dude like that.
Yeah.
We need a guy that can you give him the ball and he can create his own shot. That guy's Paulo when he's here.
Of course.
We don't have that guy now. We don't even have a bench version, like a lesser version of that.
Right.
Like we need some of that. Like what? Cole Anthony's in the conversation for a guy like that that's playing on our team?
Played.
I know, but I'm saying, like, I'm just grasping at straws. Like there's
Yes,
plenty of guys on other teams that are sitting on the bench. Some of them are deep bench that could very easily be here making shots for us. And that's why it's like, I love the idea of the team camaraderie together, but at some point you've got to get guys in here that can shoot the basketball. It can't all be about defense.
Right. And they can't all be role players. And it just makes you wonder what's going to happen. Is there going to be some type of consolidation trade or something to get a body in here who can make a bucket, who can get you a bucket when you need it? It's tough. It's been tough to watch. Like I said, Pich, we're eating our broccoli.
Yeah, it'll depend on how the rest of the season goes. It is a long season ahead. I mean, we're 8 games in here, so it's tough to not hit the panic button at this point because we've just seen 3 of the worst games we've seen from the Magic in a couple of years, and that's tough to take because it seems like this is going to continue.
Yeah.
Until he comes back. And that's well, I got to wonder what the mindset of Paulo's thinking like right now is just be like, my God, I didn't realize that these guys depended on me this much. Like, I know I usually lead us in scoring, but come on, man.
Yeah. And
like,
I guess if we're really trying something, we've played in the last 3 games 3 of the better teams in the league.
Yeah, for sure.
The Cavs are undefeated. The Mavs are Western Conference champions. The Oklahoma City Thunder are undefeated in a lot of people's.
They were the number 1 seed last year.
To win the whole thing. So it's been some tough games, but
true.
I mean, check out episode 70. We talk about what we think the over-under is in terms of the next 7 games. Mosley talked about, hey, let's treat the season like sets of a 7-game series. We just closed out our first 7-game series, going 3 and 4. We just dropped the first of our next 7-game series. So, it's going to be tough, but keep coming back. Please keep commenting, like, and subscribe. I would really like to get us up to 2,000 subscribers.
There's no reason that team can't turn it around at some point. At some point, these shots have to go in. Statistically, when you shoot that many, at some point, more will go in than this. I mean, right? It almost has to change.
Moritz. Not if Moritz keeps shooting
5.
threes.
They made 5 3-pointers. They shot 34 times. They were missing so many, and they just kept shooting more. And they were like, "Oh, if we shoot more, they'll go in now." And no, you're bad at them. Either stop shooting them or get better at them.
It's been tough, but it's hopefully by the time December 26th rolls around, Pich, and Court Cousins Night comes around, the family reunion. We're hoping that you'll join us for the family reunion, the 3rd annual down in Orlando. The day after Crimmy on December 26th, we're taking on the Heat. The first 5 people to buy tickets for that event, we're going to get into a special raffle for a Paolo Banchero jersey, and then we're going to do a bunch of other raffles where we give away tons of Magic paraphernalia. It's going to be a good time, even if we're in this spot. At least we're having some camaraderie. We're having a good time. And man, I could use that camaraderie right now, second cousin. So please, let's put all the positive vibes in the comments if you can.
I don't know what else you want from me. I already said way more than I thought I would be capable of doing. I was sort of polite as well, which is not something I think I could do, but here we are.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens. We go against the Pacers next. Tyrese Halliburton's there. They got a couple bigs injured again. They had
Goga revenge game.
It could be a Goga revenge game. I love what we got from Goga. If that's a silver lining, let's get that. Goga Bitadze, maybe star of the game here for the Orlando Magic. Let's see what happens here, Magic fans. Let's keep hope. It's an oblique lookout. Oblique. What is it? Oblique.
It's the title of episode 70.
Yeah, just check it out, man. It's been tough. I'm heading back to Connecticut tomorrow, man. Pich, it's been great to be here with you. I love you, you sexy bastard.
It's been great having you here. Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
And thank you for coming.
We'll see you next time, second cousins. Peace out. Oh.
Sorry, everybody. Thanks for coming.